Good evening, everyone. It's an honor to be here with you today to talk about something that has the power to shape every area of your life, believing in yourself. Now, I know that's a phrase that gets thrown around a lot, but let me tell you this: belief is not just a feeling, it's a force. It is the invisible power that propels you forward, the very foundation of all success, and the secret weapon that turns dreams into reality. In this room today, there are people who are destined for greatness. But before you can achieve it, there's one thing that you need to conquer: your belief in yourself. If you can learn the art of believing in yourself, 2025 can be the year that changes everything. Belief is the foundation of all success. When I first started on this journey, I didn't have the tools, the money, or even the experience to build the life I envisioned. But what I did have was belief. And let me tell you, belief is the most powerful force you can tap into. If you want to be successful, it begins right here in your mind, with the decision to believe that you are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. Think about it for a moment. Every single successful person, regardless of their background, their skills, or their resources, started with one thing: belief. Belief that they could create something out of nothing. Belief that the future could be different from the past. And it wasn't just a casual hope or wish. No, belief is something much deeper. It's a knowing. It's a certainty that no matter what the circumstances are, you have what it takes to achieve your goals. Let me give you a story to illustrate this. I remember years ago, sitting in a room full of people, all of us struggling to make ends meet. I was working multiple jobs, just trying to scrape by, and yet I was seeing little progress. But something inside me refused to accept that this was all there was. I had this quiet, almost unshakable belief deep within me that there was more. And I wasn't just hoping for more, I was committed to believing that more was possible. Now, I didn't have the skills I needed, I didn't have the contacts, and I certainly didn't have the money. But what I did have was belief. That belief was the seed that allowed me to plant the action steps necessary to begin building something. Every day I woke up, held that belief tight, and took action, even when it felt like nothing was changing. And slowly but surely, my reality began to shift. Belief is so powerful because it dictates how we respond to the world. When you believe in yourself, you don't just sit back and wait for things to happen. You get to work. Belief is not passive, it's an active force. It pushes you to take risks, to step outside your comfort zone, to try things you've never tried before. The people who achieve greatness are the ones who believed they could, even when the odds were stacked against them. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait for the perfect circumstances. They just believed, and they acted on that belief. When I tell you belief is the foundation of all success, I'm speaking from personal experience. Every success I've had in my life, every breakthrough, came after a simple decision. I believed I could do it. And when you believe you can do something, you start looking for opportunities instead of excuses. You start seeking solutions instead of focusing on problems. You stop seeing obstacles as barriers and begin to view them as stepping stones. But here's the thing: belief isn't just something that happens once. It's a muscle that you have to exercise every single day. Belief is not a one-time decision. It's a daily practice. Every day you must wake up and choose to believe in your potential. Every day you must remind yourself that you are capable, worthy, and equipped for the task ahead. And as you do this, your belief will grow stronger. It will begin to shape your reality in ways you can't even imagine. Now let's take a moment to talk about the power of focus. I want you to understand that where you place your focus will determine what you attract into your life. The things you focus on will grow, and the things you ignore will fade away. You see, most people live their lives in a state of distraction. Their attention is pulled in every direction by other people's opinions, by the media, by past mistakes, and even by their own doubts. And because they're constantly scattered, they wonder why they're not getting the results they want. Focus is a game changer. What you focus on expands. If you focus on your goals, on your vision, on the things that are most important to you, those things will begin to grow and manifest. But if you focus on your fears, your worries, your mistakes, those things will also expand and take up more space in your life. When I was just starting out, there were countless distractions around me. People telling me I couldn't succeed, the weight of my failures trying to pull me back, and even my own internal doubts whispering in my ear. But what I learned is that I could choose to focus on the things that would move me forward. I could decide to focus on my dreams and my purpose instead of the obstacles. Every single day, I made a conscious choice to block out the noise, to focus on what mattered most, and to move with intention toward my goals. It's all about what you decide to feed your mind. If you feed your mind with negativity, doubt, and uncertainty, your life will mirror that. But if you feed your mind with positivity, possibility, and the belief that your future is bright, your life will begin to reflect that as well. The shift doesn't happen overnight, but over time, your focus will shape your reality. Now, this brings me to a very important point. The secret to staying focused is clarity. When you have a clear vision of where you're going, it becomes much easier to stay on track. Without clarity, you're like a ship without a rudder, drifting wherever the wind blows. But when you know exactly where you want to go, and when you focus your energy and attention on that destination, you can move with purpose, with speed, and with power. In my own life, the moments when I was most successful were the times when I had absolute clarity about my goals. I knew exactly what I wanted to achieve, and I focused relentlessly on that vision. There was no room for distractions. There was no time for doubt. My focus was unwavering, and because of that, opportunities began to align with my efforts. But let me be clear, focus doesn't mean you won't face challenges. It doesn't mean that everything will be smooth sailing. In fact, the bigger your vision, the bigger the challenges you'll face. But when you're focused on your end goal, those challenges become just that, challenges, not roadblocks. They're obstacles to overcome, not walls that stop you. And your focus will give you the strength to push through them. So I want to challenge you right now. What are you focused on? Are you focusing on your goals, your dreams, your purpose? Or are you letting distractions and negativity steal your attention and your energy? I promise you this. If you make the decision today to focus on the things that matter most, you will begin to see your life shift in ways you never thought possible. Focus is power. It's the key to unlocking your potential and attracting the life you desire. Now let's talk about the third key, taking consistent, intentional action. This is where the rubber meets the road. It's one thing to believe in yourself and to have clarity about your goals, but those things are just ideas unless you're willing to do something with them. Action is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's the driving force that will propel you from the realm of dreams into the realm of reality. I'll tell you a story from my own life. I was at a crossroads in my career, full of big ideas, filled with potential, but still stagnant, not seeing the progress I wanted. One day I realized that my lack of movement wasn't because I didn't know what to do. It was because I wasn't consistently taking action toward my goals. I had to admit to myself that I wasn't truly doing the work necessary to create the results I wanted. Here's the thing about action. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be grand or monumental. What matters is that it's consistent. Small, purposeful actions repeated daily compound into massive results over time. The key to success is in the everyday, mundane actions. You don't have to have it all figured out right away. You just have to start. Start where you are with what you have and trust that the momentum will build over time. There's an old saying that goes, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. That couldn't be more true. If you're waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect set of circumstances to take action, you'll be waiting forever. Action is what transforms your ideas into reality. It's the force that shapes your destiny. I remember the first time I launched a business. I had all the doubts in the world. Was I ready? Was I skilled enough? Could I succeed? But I knew deep down that success didn't come from waiting for the perfect time. It came from acting on the belief that I could do it and figuring things out along the way. And so I took that first step. However small it seemed at the time, the moment I committed to consistent action, things began to shift. I started making progress, however incremental it was. that progress became momentum. And before long, momentum turned into success. One of the most powerful lessons I've learned is that success is rarely achieved in one giant leap. It's built over time, one action at a time. The people who achieve the most are the ones who are willing to take consistent, imperfect action. They don't wait for the perfect opportunity to knock on their door. They create opportunities with every step they take. Now you may be thinking, but Myron, I'm overwhelmed. I don't know where to start. Let me tell you, you don't need to know everything to get started. Just pick one thing today. What's one small step you can take toward your goal? What's one thing you can do today that will move you forward, even if just a little bit? That's all you need to do. And when you take that step, celebrate it. Celebrate the action, because the more you celebrate those small wins, the more you'll build the momentum to take bigger steps tomorrow. It's about the journey, not the destination. It's about showing up every day, even when things aren't going perfectly, even when you face setbacks, even when you make mistakes. The key is showing up and continuing to move forward no matter what. Let me tell you something. It doesn't matter how many times you fail or how many mistakes you make along the way. What matters is that you keep going. You keep taking action, one step after another. It's the persistence, the consistency, the determination to keep moving forward that will ultimately bring you to success. Action isn't about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about making the moment perfect with every step you take. Let's now dive into the fourth key, embracing the power of patience and perseverance. This is often one of the hardest aspects of success to grasp, because we live in a world that demands instant gratification. We are conditioned to want things fast, whether it's results, success, or progress. But what I've learned, and what I want to share with you today, is that true success requires patience. It's about understanding that success doesn't happen overnight, and the journey you're on is going to take time. I remember when I first started working toward my goals, I was so eager to see results that I often found myself frustrated. Why wasn't everything happening faster? Why wasn't I seeing the fruits of my labor immediately? The truth is, success doesn't work like that. It's like planting a seed. You don't see the tree grow the moment you plant it, but with care and consistency, over time, that seed begins to sprout. Eventually it grows into something beautiful, strong, and fruitful. But it doesn't happen in a day. It takes time, nurturing, and perseverance. I want you to understand that success isn't a race. It's a journey that demands patience, faith, and resilience. When you're working towards something great, there will be days when you feel like giving up. There will be moments when you question yourself, your path, and whether it's all worth it. That's where patience comes into play. Patience is about trusting the process, even when you can't see immediate results. In my own life, there have been countless moments where I felt like quitting. I faced setbacks, challenges, and obstacles that seemed insurmountable, but I understood that the only way through it was to keep going. It wasn't the quick wins that mattered, it was the long-term vision. I stayed committed to the process, even when it felt like progress was slow, and over time, I began to see the results. I learned that the key to success wasn't rushing the journey. It was trusting that with every step I took, I was moving closer to my dreams. Let's talk about perseverance for a moment. Perseverance is the ability to keep going when things get tough. It's the ability to stay in the game even when you're not winning in the moment. I think of it like this: life isn't always going to go according to your plan. You might face challenges that you didn't see coming. You might experience failures, rejections, or roadblocks, but perseverance is the force that keeps you moving forward. It's the fire that doesn't go out when things get hard. It's what separates those who achieve their goals from those who give up too soon. I'll share a personal story with you. There was a time when I had a big vision for my life and my business, but there were moments where I didn't know how I would get there. I was faced with a choice. I could either quit or I could press on. The temptation to give up was strong. There were times when I felt defeated, when I felt like my efforts weren't yielding results. but I decided to persevere. I made a commitment to myself that no matter how difficult it got, I would keep moving forward. And let me tell you, it wasn't easy. But as I kept going, as I stayed patient and continued to take action, everything began to align. The progress was slow at first, but it came. And over time, the things I once dreamed about became a reality. Patience and perseverance are not just about waiting. They're about showing up consistently, even when you don't feel like it. They're about staying committed, even when you're not seeing the immediate rewards. And let me tell you, those moments when you want to quit, those are the moments that will define your future. When you keep going, when you choose to persevere, you're laying the foundation for something amazing. So I ask you, will you be patient with yourself? Will you stay the course even when it seems difficult? Will you trust that the seeds you plant today will grow into the life you've been dreaming of? The magic happens in the waiting, in the perseverance, in the commitment to keep going. That's where true growth happens. Success isn't just about achieving. It's about growing, learning, and becoming the person capable of handling the blessings that are coming your way. And that takes time, patience, and an unwavering belief that your best days are ahead of you. Now, let's dive into the fifth key, the importance of surrounding yourself with the right people. You've probably heard the saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. There's truth to that. I've learned that the people you allow into your life have a profound impact on the direction you go. And the thing is, we often underestimate how much influence the right people can have, and conversely, how much the wrong people can hold us back. When I look back at my journey, I realized that the times I was most successful were the times I was surrounded by people who pushed me to grow. They were people who believed in me even when I didn't believe in myself. They didn't just cheer me on from the sidelines. They challenged me to do better, to be better, to think bigger. They helped me see the greatness within me that I hadn't yet discovered. It's easy to think that you can do it all on your own, but let me tell you, you can't. Success is a team effort. It's not just about what you do, it's about who you do it with. Your circle, your tribe, should be a source of support, guidance, and motivation. And if you're not careful, you can end up with a circle that does more harm than good. I know, because I've been there. There were times when I was surrounding myself with people who were negative, who didn't see the same vision for my life as I did. They were people who doubted, who didn't encourage me to dream big. And I realized that without even knowing it, I had allowed their doubts to infect my own thinking. I had allowed their limitations to become my limitations. And that's when I had to make a choice. I had to be brave enough to distance myself from people who weren't adding value to my journey. I understand that it's not always easy to let go of people, especially if they've been in your life for a long time. But I want you to think about this. Is staying in a relationship with someone who's holding you back worth it? Is it worth compromising your growth for the comfort of familiarity? Because I'll tell you from experience, it's much harder to grow when you're surrounded by negativity, doubt, and mediocrity. I made a decision to surround myself with people who not only believed in my dreams, but who were also actively pursuing their own. These are the people who understand the power of hard work, who understand that life is not about making excuses, but about making progress. They inspired me to push harder, to think bigger, and to stay focused on my goals. And you know what happened? Everything in my life began to shift. Now, I want you to think about your own circle. Take a moment to reflect on the people you spend the most time with. Do they uplift you? Do they encourage you to be your best self, or do they bring you down subtly or overtly with their negativity or lack of ambition? The truth is, if you want to soar, you need to be around people who can help you fly. You need people who will challenge you, who will call out your potential, who will stand by you when the going gets tough. But it's not just about the people you know, it's about the people you seek out. Make intentional decisions about who you surround yourself with. Seek out mentors, coaches, and leaders who have already achieved the things you want to achieve. Align yourself with people who are walking the path you want to walk, and let their experiences guide you. Don't be afraid to invest in relationships that will help you grow. The right people will help you become the person you were meant to be. Remember, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. You don't need a huge network of people, you just need the right people. People who will hold you accountable, challenge you, and remind you of your greatness when you forget. Your environment is crucial to your success, so I challenge you today to evaluate your circle and ask yourself, are the people around me helping me reach my fullest potential? Surround yourself with people who believe in your dreams, who will support you in moments of doubt, and who will push you to become the best version of yourself. That's the key to building a life that aligns with the vision you have for your future.